stood silently at the kitchen counter, listening to the hum of the refrigerator. The apartment was new, but the silence felt exactly the same as it always had. Heavy, empty, relentless. He'd done everything right, hadn't he? He'd packed boxes, left cities, ended relationships, started fresh. He'd changed everything around him except himself. But tonight, standing alone, surrounded by new walls that felt suspiciously like old ones, he saw clearly. It wasn't the city or the apartment or the people he'd left behind. It was him. He had carried it all with him. The same fears, the same doubts, the same quiet desperation. The external scenery changed, but the script didn't. He wondered if anyone else felt this tired, this empty, this trapped by their own unwillingness to look inward. He'd rearranged furniture on a sinking ship, believing a different view meant a different life. But no matter how far he ran, the reflection in every mirror stayed the same. The moment of truth wasn't loud or dramatic. It was quiet, almost unnoticeable. A sudden awareness as he stared at his coffee table. He'd spent his life fleeing a shadow, never realizing he was the one casting it. He'd blamed jobs, people, places, circumstances, but never himself. And now, face to face with the realization, he felt an odd relief, heavy yet strangely freeing. Because for the first time, he saw exactly what he'd been avoiding. The one thing he'd never changed was himself. And that meant nothing had ever truly changed. He stood still, the truth sitting uncomfortably on his chest, wondering, was he finally ready to dismantle the last illusion, the idea of who he'd always pretended to be? Or would he choose yet another new city, another new face, another new distraction, until there was nowhere left to run? This has been Voy. Until you're